Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Senator Sepulveda, for introducing this incredibly difficult resolution to speak about. We speak about a lot of resolutions on the floor, Madam President, about historical figures, but it might be the first time I'm speaking about a friend, somebody who helped me get into politics, somebody who believed in me regardless of where I was from. Benny Catala, Venancio Catala Jr., we called him Benny. If you were from the Bronx and you heard the name Benny, there was only one man you were talking about, and this was this man that we were talking about on the floor. It is ironic that we are speaking about him on this resolution on the first day when we're permitted to file petitions. Benny was a political master. Benny knew everything that there was to know about the Bronx, and as Senator Sepulveda alluded to, about more than the Bronx. He was more than just a friend. He was a confidant. He was someone who gave his last to so many people. At his funeral, there was so many outpourings of love and emotion about things that Benny did for them that they didn't even know that Benny did for them until somebody told them after the fact. Benny was your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. He was your favorite guy's favorite guy. He had somebody for everything if you needed it. Like in listening to the people at his wake and at his funeral, the amount of lives that he's touched is just remarkable. And you know somebody the way that you know them. But it's always remarkable when at these homegoing celebrations to be able to hear how these people that touch your life impacted the lives of everybody else. So I can share that Benny was someone who had a keen sense of humor, a sharp sense of humor, as it were. And he would always send text messages of certain memes, right? And I remember one final meme that he sent me, and this is how I knew that Benny loved me, because he sent me a meme of me and my daughters wearing Mets jerseys. Now, if you knew Benny, you knew how much he hated the Mets and loved the Yankees, so for him to send me that meme meant a lot to me. Benny was sharp, not just a sharp wit, but he had a sharp line, a razor-sharp line. He always shouted out his barber, E Sharp, and I always texted him, Benny, when you gonna hook me up with E Sharp so I can get a line too? Benny was an incredibly dapper individual. He loved himself some Ralph Lauren polo. He would once say, thou shalt not wear Uspa. He wanted to make sure that it was Ralph and Ralph only. He was more than just somebody who was charismatic and witty. He was a worker. He was someone that he would have been binding with us, binding petitions until the last person was out the door. He would have been out on the streets making sure he was talking to people. But it's not just about the political work. It's the community work, how he started out with Reverend Jerome A. Green and the late great Aurelia Green in the streets of the South Bronx. Benny was a unifier. He was somebody that brought blacks and Latinos together in the borough of the Bronx because he had that gravitas. He had that swag, as it were, Madam President. And it's interesting how people send messages from beyond. The day of his funeral, I got in the car and I put on the music on shuffle, and the first song I heard was It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, and it was really interesting. Then the next song I heard was Nice and Smooth, Hip Hop Junkies, which was one of Benny's favorite groups, and he grew up with one of the guys, Greg Nice, from Nice and Smooth. So many things to speak about Benny and so many things that he's done in the community, and I just, I'm gonna bring it to a pause here. But I talked about petitions and how petitions have like a dual meaning, right? Petitions in the church, petitions of prayer, and also petitions that we need to get on the ballot. And what I'll say is that Benny is organizing in heaven right now, and he's got a slate, and he was accepted with no challenges. We are extremely proud of the work that he has done in the physical form, but we know that he was a man of faith and that his work continues in the metaphysical. So to you, Big Ben, cheers to you, Benny. All the best to you, my friend, to your family, to your loved ones, to the Bronx. You made the Bronx a better place. London might have Big Ben as their monument, but Big Ben is our monument in the boogie down Bronx. God rest the life and soul of Venancio Benny Catala Jr.